right, DeMarcus Cantrell Brown.
Your Honor, we were representing him, but we are going to be submitting a withdrawal to you. You should have it shortly.
All right, Mr. Brown, are you represented by somebody else?
Yeah. For the record, I am DeMarcus Bay, the implied surety for DeMarcus Cantrell Brown. And I would like to file a motion in the court for additional 30 days for me to seek counsel.
Okay, so Mr. Bay, aka Marcus Cantrell Brown, so you're seeking a continuance to get new counsel?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have someone in mind, sir?
I have, not right now. I'm seeking counsel.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm going to give you a continuance for 30 days, until January 5th. But by that time, you need to have counsel on board when they come back so that they can talk to the state to determine if there's anything that they can work out on your case or if they need to get all of the information necessary for a trial, if that's what you choose to do. So by January 5th, I will expect that you will have counsel.
Well, I have paperwork on the docket that haven't been rebutted. I have affidavits of truth that haven't been rebutted.
Okay, sir, we don't do affidavits. People have to appear in person because there's a confrontation clause in the United States Constitution that says witnesses, you have the right to confront witnesses in person. So we don't do affidavits, okay? If you have witnesses that are going to present testimony or evidence on your behalf, then you have to have them come to court and be sworn in and testify at that time, okay? So we're not doing any dismissing and all of that stuff. No, sir. When you get your counsel, they'll be able to discuss it with the state, and then y'all can present whatever to the court.
And the accusing deputy must be present too, right?
No.
Okay.
So the people always say that, but here's the thing: the state gets to choose whatever witnesses they wish to bring, just like your side gets to choose whatever witnesses you wish to bring. You can't rely on them to bring the person that you want. So if you want to subpoena someone to appear for trial, then you need to subpoena them. You cannot rely on the state to bring your witness. Okay?
Okay. I got you.
So, all right. Anything else?
And jurisdiction can't be challenged at any time, right?
No, sir. Jurisdiction rests with this court because this is where the locus of the incident is.
Well,
Mr. Bay, let me just explain something to you. Mr. Bay, listen to me.
Okay.
I went to school for 3 years for this. That's full time. If I had gone part time, it would have been 4 or 5 years. And I have been working since, oh Lord, I ain't gonna give my age, but I've been a lawyer and a judge for quite some time. I've been a judge for 10 years as of this year. A lot of times people come before me because they've learned stuff from other people, or they've gone online, or they've read it themselves. But I tell you, it doesn't work the way you think it works. And so there's a set of statutes, cases, procedures, and all of those things that we have to learn. In fact, let me show you something.
Well, how did you
wait. You see this book right here?
Uh-huh.
This is just this year's edition of all the stuff that I have to be able to find to figure out what's going on in your case. This is just this year's edition. And I got a book like this that includes evidence and procedure. I got a whole wall of books. So when you come in here challenging jurisdiction and all of this stuff people have taught you, it's not
can I show you my Black Law Dictionary?
No, sir. Because Black's Law, that's a dictionary. That's not the full case. You know, you come in with all of these ideas about how you think the law works, but every lawyer in here has done at least 3 years of law school and trainings, trials, all of those things. So you're not going to change the way we do things. So the best thing to do is to get an attorney who can talk to the state about your case, and then we can get this resolved. Your case is pretty simple. You got traffic offenses.
Well, I still want you to prove on the record that you have subject matter jurisdiction, personal jurisdiction.
I'm not proving anything on the record, sir. I wear the robe. They put me in this position. I've been here 10 years. If I didn't have subject matter jurisdiction, I wouldn't be here.
So
all right?
It's not a difference between public and private, for the record. There's no difference.
Sir, get an attorney.
Okay. All right. January 5th.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And Mr. Bay/Brown, you've indicated that you wish to have an attorney, so I'm going to rely on the fact that you're going to have an attorney. Don't come back here with the same stuff, and I already told you it's not going to work.
So you're telling me United States codes don't work?
No, I'm telling you, you don't know them. So first of all, the United States codes don't work in Georgia because Georgia has its own code, OCGA.
So the meaning of driver is different in Georgia.
Yes, sir.
But according to 49.
Mr. Bay, I'm not doing this with you. Get an attorney. Okay. Thank you, sir. You're free to go. We'll see you on January 5th at 11 a.m.
If only Mr. Bay had listened to Judge Tammi. If only Mr. Bay had listened to Judge Tammi, maybe he would get a small fine and a point on his record. He showed up at his next court hearing, and we have the footage. He brought his attorney. We have the footage. Special for you, Crime Time watchers.
That's why I go over this. All right, so for the 11 a.m. calendar, ladies and gentlemen, this is the arraignment calendar for courtroom 304 in Clayton County State Court. I'm Judge Tammi Long Hayward. Everyone is entitled to have an attorney if you wish to have one represent you. If you wish to enter a plea, there are 3 pleas available to you. A not guilty plea means that you're going to have a trial at a later date. You can have a bench trial before a judge without a jury, or you can have a jury trial before a judge and a jury. If you wish to enter a plea of not guilty and you go to trial, all you have to do is appear. You're not required to do anything. The state has the burden of proving the case against you beyond a reasonable doubt. You also have the right to remain silent and not enter any evidence or testimony against yourself. So if you wish to go to trial, it is the state's burden to prove the case against you. However, if you or you and your attorney wish to enter evidence and testimony on your behalf, you may do so. I do caution you that if you wish to go to trial without an attorney, particularly a jury trial, then the rules of evidence and procedure may make it difficult for you to get information admitted into the record of the court if you are not familiar with the rules of evidence and procedure. And I cannot treat you any differently than I would treat an attorney who's trained in those areas. If you enter a plea of nolo or no contest, it is because you understand that the state has evidence that they can produce at trial. And if they produce that evidence, it could result in a conviction before the court. So you wish to resolve your case without admitting guilt, but without contesting the evidence. A nolo plea could have some benefits for you in cases where you have traffic offenses. It may help you to avoid penalties on your license. It may help you to avoid a suspension of your license. So those are things that you need to be mindful. If you have a commercial driver's license, please remember that the court and the individuals who are connected to the court cannot give you information about what might happen to your commercial driver's license. If you have some concerns, you need to go ahead and find someone who's knowledgeable about that before you enter a plea of guilty or nolo. You may wish to enter a plea of not guilty, and while you prepare for trial, you can also look up that information to assure that you won't lose the ability to earn a living. If you're under the age of 21, it is easier for underage drivers to pick up points on your license. And so you have to be mindful of how you plead, because a nolo plea may not have the same benefits for you that it would for someone over the age of 21. Okay. All right. I'm going to call the calendar. And when I do, if you need to have an attorney appointed to you, please let me know and I'll appoint at that time. Otherwise, if you wish to, yes.
Sorry, I didn't interrupt you. I was going to ask if I could make the announcement.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Go ahead, Mr. Janvier. I forgot about that.
All right. Notice of digital evidence. Digital evidence to include body-worn camera footage, 911 audio, independent surveillance may exist in your particular case. Digital evidence will be available for inspection or viewing no less than 10 days after arraignment, and a written demand for discovery must be filed with the clerk of state court prior to inspection or viewing. To inspect, view digital evidence in the state's possession, please contact the Office of the Solicitor General of the State Court of Clayton County to make an appointment at 770-477-3380. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay. All right. So, DeMarcus Contrell Brown.
I have interest in that matter. Is the defendant ever free to go?
Is the who, what?
Is the defendant in error free to go?
No.
Well, let the record show the defendant in error is ordered to stay and participate.
Okay, who is the defendant in error? That's a new one for me.
The all cap name is trust that I am a beneficiary of. My name is not spelled in all capital letters. I have a court order decree saying that.
Okay, Mr. Bay. Mr. Bay, do you have an attorney representing you, sir?
Attorney General, my Attorney General is online. You may speak to me, sir.
Is the Attorney General, Mr. Bay, hold on. Let me ask my question before you tell me something crazy. Is the Attorney General a member of the State Bar of Georgia?
I'm not. I'm a non-state actor. I'm a foreign national. Matter of fact, I filed.
Sir, Mr. Bay, I don't care if you were Alexander Putin, the premier of Russia. If you are in Georgia and you're represented by an attorney, that attorney would have to be a member of the State Bar of Georgia. Foreign national or not. Just as if you went to another country and you had an attorney represent you, that attorney would have to meet the requirements of that country and of that state. Okay, Mr. Attorney, Mr. Bay, hush. Mr. Attorney General,
I'm trying to set a record.
Mr. Bay, Mr. Attorney General, are you a member of the State Bar of Georgia? You want to unmute for me?
Speak, bro. Take it on me.
What's going on is he's a member of a foreign state corporation basically doing business in Georgia. So
okay,
basically,
sir, that's not what I asked you. No, sir.
I get what you're saying now.
No, and I get what you're saying, but we're not doing that because that's not how we operate. Those are not the laws under which I am required to conduct court. So we either gonna do it my way or we're gonna put you on the calendar.
We understand the rules of the court. I got you.
Okay. Are you a member of the State Bar of Georgia?
No, I'm not a member of the Bar of Georgia.
Okay,
what I'm trying to realize
as he can represent himself.
You need to take consideration on that matter, on how he's doing business in Georgia.
He can represent himself, or he can be represented by a member of the State Bar of Georgia. But he cannot have you represent him or purport to represent him, okay? That's not going to work. All right. So, Mr. Bay, do you wish to choose someone who is a member of the State Bar of Georgia to represent you, or do you wish to represent yourself?
I invoke my right to remain silent as the beneficiary of DeMarcus Contrell Brown estate.
Okay, sir. So, sir, you're invoking your right to remain silent, which means that you do not wish to enter a plea that would resolve your case today. As such, the court is going to enter a plea of not guilty for you.
You cannot practice law from the bench. Violate 454. Judge practicing law from the bench.
And put you on a trial court, on a trial calendar so that your case may be heard at trial. All right, sir. Thank you. You'll get notice in the mail if anything changes about your if anything changes about your address, then you can go ahead and let us know by coming in.
I demand evidence here.
You will have that at the time of the trial, sir. You're not going to have an evidence hearing today because that's not what we're here for. This is
I got your oath, Tammi Long.
So, Mr. Bay, I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. You'll have a trial at which time you can have an evidence hearing. You'll get notice in the mail.
Violation of August 6, Section 2 of the Constitution.
Your notice in the mail, then you can appear for hearing with whatever evidence that you wish to present. Although you are not required to present any evidence or testimony because the state has the burden of proving the case against you. Thank you, Mr. Brown. You're free to go at this time. All right, Kevin Jermaine Burrows. Kevin Jermaine Burrows.
A waiver was filed, Judge, for Burrows.
Okay. Mr. Miranda from a waiver. Okay. All right.